Fear limits our ability to have freedom and success. The word fear really stands for false evidence appearing real. Fear paralyzes us and will make us feel as if we're immobile, like an automobile without gas. Let's look at reality and see how we feel after we hear about the truth about worrying. 42% of our worries are things that haven't happened and probably never will. 35% of our worries are from things that occurred in the past, and with all the worry in the world, we still can't change it. 10% are unnecessary worries regarding our health. 6% of our worries are so petty and are not even worth worrying about. The remaining 7% are legitimate worries that we need to be responsible for. So if we focus our energies on what we have control over, which is approximately 7%, we can preserve the positive energy as we build self-confidence and success. Remember that fear drains our energy levels, making it hard to cope in life because our positive vibrations are depleted with negative energy. When we look at our minds, we can look at it as a two-sided scale. One side would be the fear of losing in life, and the other side would be the success of winning. Always make the weight that tips the scale to the success of winning. Think of fear as stepping stones to success. We could step on the stones to reach our destination, or we can pick up the stones and throw them away, losing purpose in our lives. Success is really like failure turned inside out. What may appear to be failure to you may be success to someone else. We need to ask ourselves, what is the worst possible thing that can happen if I fail? Or what is the worst possible thing that can happen to me? As long as there is no harm to ourselves, physically, mentally, or spiritually, that tells us that we now have the green light to move forward in our lives. Remember that fear is only a state of mind. Fear is an emotion, and emotions can be controlled. Understand that all of our thoughts and perceptions are all directly related to our past experiences and upbringing. So if your fears are bugs, crowds, heights, flying, driving, lecturing, interviews, or starting a new business, all of us have the ability and strength to abolish them. Our first significant step towards taking control of our fears is admitting to ourselves what the fear is, and then facing it head on. When fear strikes, we need to have 100% faith that you will survive the challenge, and knowing you will conquer the fears no matter what it takes. By facing the challenge, this will allow us to become stronger as we develop more confidence and strength within ourselves. This allows us to be empowered. The key is taking responsibility into our own hands and not to worry about what others think about us. God has given us a life to live, and we are the ones that should be taking control, not others. Look how fortunate we really are. Learning how to accept fear is only an obstacle that we must face in order to grow. Facing the challenge and then succeeding is the greatest emotion that we can ever experience. Look back at yourself when you were a child. Remember the happiness and emotions bursting out of you after you succeeded to ride a bicycle for the first time. I'm sure there was a lot of fear before riding that bicycle. We would think about the consequences of falling down and having pain. All it took was one time. You faced the challenge and succeeded. The fear was just an illusion. It was something that we just perceived in our mind. Don't ever think about what we fear. Always focus on the solution to the problem. Instead of thinking about struggling and failing in life, focus on being successful and being a winner. Instead of thinking about how sad and depressed you really are, focus on being happy and enthusiastic. When problems come into your life, learn to trust your inner guidance. Make early decisions and take care of them right away. The longer we put off our problems, the more fearful we usually become. We know that fear can paralyze us, but we also know that it can strengthen us. Fear is not difficult to conquer, as perseverance builds our self-esteem and confidence. This principle never changes and applies to everything we do within our lives. It gives us purpose, pleasure, strength, and assurance of ourselves as we take on our next challenge to success. Always act as if it is impossible to fail, and we will always succeed. Remember, to overcome your fear, you must master its opposite, and that is to always have faith. Conquer your fear with faith.